Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the HT Physio Quick Tip series. If you don't know who I am, my name is Will Harlow and I'm the Over-Fifties and Sciatica Specialist Physio here at HT Physio in Farnham. And today I'm going to be revealing the weirdest sign that a bulging disc might be healing. And this is a sign I see all the time in clinic when things are going well for my bulging disc patients. And that weird sign we're talking about today is back pain getting worse. Now you might be thinking, well, Will, if the bulging disc is getting better, why does someone's back pain get worse? And I'll explain to you exactly why this happens. So this happens because a phenomenon called centralization, which was discovered by Robin McKenzie as a sign that a bulging disc is responding well to treatment. And if you don't know what a bulging disc is, basically when we're talking about a bulging disc in the context of sciatica, we're talking about one of these discs in the lower back. So we've got 5 lumbar vertebrae, which are these white things here, and in between them we've got these discs, which are the intervertebral discs. They're like a tough outer shell of collagen fibers with a fluid center. If we want to zoom in on the disc, you can see it in this diagram here. This is the one between the L5 and the L4, so it's kind of flexible. It's got fluid on the inside. But the problem is it can develop weaknesses in the outer shell. And when those weaknesses cross a certain point, they can turn into a bulge. And a bulge looks kind of like that. So it can come out and it can go back in again. And if it touches this yellow guy here, the nerve, then that can cause sciatic pain. So one of the most common symptoms of a bulging disc is nerve pain running down the back of the leg, which we call sciatica. Sometimes it can go down the side of the leg or even the front of the leg. It doesn't really matter for the purposes of this video. It's all termed as sciatica in my eyes. But what often happens with people with a bulging disc that starts to heal is the leg pain starts to reduce and their back pain gets worse. Now, if someone's back pain is getting worse, you might be thinking, well, surely that means the problem's getting worse. And actually, that's not the case. Sometimes what can happen is the nerve in the spine can be less irritated, the inflammation can start to settle down, and the back pain getting worse. It's almost like the body recognizing where the actual problem is. So when you've got sciatica, even though you've got pain down your leg, the problem isn't in the leg, it's in the spine. The pain down the leg is referred pain. So when that pain starts to come away from the leg and travel up the leg towards the buttock and then into the back, it's almost like the body saying, yeah, I don't need to send pain down into the leg anymore. I know exactly where the zone is. Things are going pretty well. I just need to make that person aware that there's an issue in the spine. And that seems to be where the pain comes from. Now that's just my theory. It's very difficult to prove that in the scientific evidence, but I see it so many times that I'm convinced that is the way the body works. Now, the first person to notice this happening was a researcher called Robin McKenzie. He came up with the McKenzie method. And he noted in his assessment process that people who he gave the right exercises to would start to notice the pain not going so far down the leg, it would start to come up towards the back. And sometimes it would stay in the back and get worse. And it might stay in the back for longer overall. So it could be that it takes a month to get rid of the leg pain and then 3 months to get rid of the back pain afterwards. Now, I tend to think of this back pain slightly getting worse as a good sign, as long as the leg pain is also getting better. So if your back pain's getting worse and your leg pain's no better, that is not what we're talking about here. Okay, it's not necessarily a good sign. But what we are talking about is less leg pain, more back pain. Often that means you're doing the right things. So if you notice your back pain worsening, as long as that leg pain's better, don't be tempted to change loads of things around because chances are you're probably already working on the right things. Now, this advice doesn't apply for everyone, so do take it with a pinch of salt. I don't recommend anyone try to solve their sciatica on their own. It is such a complex problem. It's worth having someone help you out. But if that's what you're noticing and you're under treatment, don't panic. It's often a good sign. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. That's just my explanation for centralization of pain in the spine. If you found this useful, please hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment below because I'd love to read your thoughts. And if you want to get more from me, you can pick up a copy of my book. It's called Thriving Beyond 50 and you can find it on Amazon using the link below. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time and I'll speak to you on the next one.